Hello, I'm Rebecca Tegtmeyer, Associate Professor at Michigan State University, and this is Marty Maxwell Lane, Associate Professor at the University of Arkansas. And we're excited to talk to you about the various types of collaborative platforms we're identifying in design academia and the ways they encourage us to reimagine our academic spaces to inspire collective growth and global exchange within and beyond the field of design. In 2020, our book, Collaboration in Design Education, was published and provides a comprehensive guide for design educators and practitioners who want to take a collaborative approach to their design practice and studio. We introduce a wide range of case studies of collaborative graphic design practice and pedagogical methodologies, both face-to-face and remote, and between individuals and groups. We address the basics of getting started, planning ahead, and reflecting on outcomes, as well as the issues that come up in collaborative work. For example, cross-cultural exchange or managing roles within a diverse team. We are now working on our second book that focuses more deeply on collaborative design research.
At the core, collaboration is fundamentally a way of working together. The relationships between individuals, partners, and groups vary, and processes are diverse in every collaborative endeavor. Simply put, no two collaborations are alike. Methods and frameworks can be tested, yet shifting dynamics between participants and goals make every collaboration unique to itself. The two essential factors in a collaboration are participants and a shared goal. For design academics with a responsibility to do research in their field, collaboration requires a shared goal in which the end outcome yields new knowledge and insights that ultimately progress the field forward in some way. In an AIJ article by Ram Castillo, he listed a willingness to collaborate as a practical quality that makes a good graphic designer truly great. A willingness means being prepared to collaborate and to have an understanding of what behaviors and activities lead to successful collaboration. He also notes an awareness of cultural sensitivities, correlating directly to being able to communicate and collaborate with people unlike yourself. Bringing together a multitude of voices and perspectives is critical in design research. We continue to see a push for collaborations in research because our problems today are too big for people to solve alone, and they require complex teams. Unfortunately, a collaborative approach is often missing in academia, both in the curriculum and the professional lives of faculty. We found that if design educators are collaborating, often they are doing so with no strategic planning or models of collaborative relationships to follow, which can result in frustrating collaborative experiences. Traditional disciplinary boundaries and silos, shaped by historical factors, continue to limit faculty collaboration and hinder innovation and advancement within academic fields. Some design educators navigate the intersection of research and teaching in isolation, with limited opportunities for interdisciplinary or cross-institutional collaboration. This isolation hinders the development of impactful dynamic research practices that leverage collective expertise. The types of contemporary problems that designers must address are shifting and becoming more global. Designers have valuable contributions to make, not only in business and commerce, but in healthcare, politics, sustainability, diversity, etc. This requires new collaborative relationships, ones that are more than a sharing of skills and tools, but truly seek to build sustainable systems for inter and multidisciplinary collaborations. Educational spaces are being rethought, and radical ideas are being tested in higher education, either out of necessity or out of a desire for innovation. Faculty must push past institutional and structural barriers, make time for collaboration, and operate in a what-if mindset where obstacles are not the focus. We must write proposals and seek funding to support collaborative work within our academic institutions. This all leads us to ask, how might we reimagine our academic spaces to inspire collective growth and global exchange within and beyond the field of design?
To answer our inquiry, we've created a taxonomy of collaborative research that explores collaboration on a spectrum from open to closed. All the examples of collaborative spaces shown here are not fixed on the spectrum and may have often branch out into more open or closed initiatives. Each of these collaborations prioritize dialogue, shared decision-making, and collective creative output. These initiatives range from small-scale conversational platforms to larger collaborative projects that encourage engagement outside core curricular structures. They include physical environments for creative practice, collectives supporting shared intellectual and artistic exploration, and invitational prompts designed to contribute to a broader body of work. Starting on the left of the spectrum are the most open communities. These allow anyone to contribute to the community space. Here we have the People's Graphic Design Archive and the Feminist Design Archive. These are initiatives in which anyone can contribute to the archive and community space via a digital platform, with the goal to preserve historical artifacts that might often be overlooked in the field of graphic design and beyond. Next, we have open subcommunities. These are open communities for designers based on how one identifies. Here we have Sadia, a community open to all who support South Asian cultural heritage, identity, and narrative. The shared mission of the community is to build a global design community of acceptance and belonging. Next, collectives with review are communities created by designers inviting others to submit a proposal for peer-reviewed acceptance. Once accepted, the designers participate in an organized collective responding to research inquiries and shared feedback. Here we have Design Inquiry, a nonprofit educational organization devoted to researching design issues and intensive team-based gatherings, and a fellowship initiative hosted by the AIJ Design Educators community that led participants through a collaborative approach to progressing individual research agendas while investigating the affordances of the visual essay. Invitational prompts are initiatives and exhibitions where designers are invited to submit and participate in a specific topic or issue. Here we have I Profess, facilitated by collaborators Chris Cornell and Audrey Bennett, an exhibition showcasing various viewpoints and pedagogical and ideological priorities that aim to inspire cross-cultural dialogue among students, faculty, designers, and other expert communities. Then the 2020 Get Out the Vote Women's Vote campaign, led by Kelly Sacco MacArthur and Nancy Skolios, is a digital and physical poster exhibition in which invited participants were called upon to invite one other designer to participate. Matriarchal Design Futures, led by Heather Snyder Quinn and Akio Takis, is a non-capitalistic, non-hierarchical, pedagogical framework centering the practices and values of caregiving and nurturing, which holds for all identities. And finally, Mothering, an exhibition curated by Megan D. and Bree McMahon, dedicated to creating space for designers and creators producing work about motherhood. Moving further towards more closed collaborations, we have co-authors and co-makers. These are collaborators engaged in research that engages and invites other designers to participate as co-authors and/or co-makers. Here we have examples such as our own book. Marty and I were co-authors and co-editors along with several other contributors. Then Ongoing Matter is an ongoing collaboration between Ann H. Berry and Sarah Edmonds Martin, in which they organize a multi-platform traveling collection of poster designs that mobilizes political engagement. And Orbit is the collaborative research of Kelly Murdoch-Kitt and Danielle Emmons, exploring how diverse teams solve problems better and more creatively together with intercultural collaboration as a focus. Next, we have learning research spaces. These are spaces of learning and research in academic environments facilitated by a design educator in collaboration with design students. Examples such as Design Outside at the University of Kansas, facilitated by Professor Jilmy Shellhorn, engages students in an outdoor studio setting in collaboration with national parks. The University of Arkansas Design Program facilitates a design clinic as a space for students to engage and learn from invited guest designers. And finally, the Health Communication Design Studio at the Sam Fox School of Design at the University of Washington in St. Louis, facilitated by Professor Penina Laker. The studio investigates pressing issues related to public health, primarily in underserved populations. Finally, on the far right end of the spectrum, we have partnerships in research. These are collaborators conducting research together or engaged in a design practice for the design community at large. Polymode is the studio of Brian Johnson and Silas Monroe. They have a long history of collaborations together and with others in the design community. Recently, they curated an exhibition, Reverberations, as an educational space that reimagines design history. The second example here is the work of Lisa Mercer and Teresa Hardaway, Racism Untaught, a framework that utilizes collaborative design research and the education and awareness of design that perpetuates racism in obvious and in hidden ways. The final example is En El Fronte, a collaborative research project of Alexandria Conchola and Joshua Duttweiler. Their project investigates the design and impact of Chicano independent publications in the 1960s and 1970s. Through surveying and mapping a variety of approaches to the creating collaborative platforms, we can better examine how such spaces empower and support design research. In analyzing their impact, we can learn from these examples to better design and sustain these spaces for peers within and beyond the discipline, reflecting on their potential to transform individual practice and broader academic communities.
Through these examples, we can clearly see the benefits of collaboration. It inspires collective and individual growth and global exchange, emphasizes that the sum is greater than the parts, the insights are achieved that otherwise wouldn't be revealed if working individually, builds supportive academic networks, brings together a multitude of voices, and practices shared decision-making. By emphasizing the value of dialogue and co-creation, these spaces not only address the challenges of professional isolation, but also encourage interdisciplinary approaches to pedagogy and research. We advocate collaborative spaces as vital tools necessary for adapting to change, fostering innovation, and building supportive academic networks. Thank you all for following along today. Please check out our book published by Bloomsbury Visual Arts for a more in-depth look at collaboration and design education, and stay tuned for our forthcoming book on design research. Thank you.